Welcome to Block Marketing Creative Solutions. I'm Evie, and today we're going to be having, a conversation with Alexis from Skincare and Body Sculpting. We are going to be talking about her website ever since we launched the site. What new things have arisen ever since then, and we're gonna hear a little bit about what she experiences then up until now. Well, thank you for joining me today. I know it's a lovely day and it's been cloudy, but then it gets sunny sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Now, we launched the website, I want to say more or less about 3 months ago or 2 months ago?
2 months ago.
2 months ago?
Going on 3.
Okay. Since then, what have been your experience in terms of the traffic that comes in there? Are you getting the proper attention? And when I say that, I'm referring to visitors coming in there, getting the information so they can book the services or whichever service they're looking for. Are you seeing any difference?
Yeah, no, definitely. So first and foremost, I think you did a beautiful job with the aesthetics. It did exactly what I wanted, gave it that luxury, clean feel the spot gives. So I love the creative side to it.
Awesome.
And my clients love it too. So they're on there. And I feel one of the main things that's helped me the most is, apart from getting traffic, is having not to explain so much. It's been so well written out that my clients just come in saying, this is the treatment I want. I don't have to sit there as much and be like, oh, like this is what this does and this is what this does. So doing that has helped me a lot too with my time frame. So it's helped me just be more productive in that sense.
Awesome. Yeah, one of the things I remember seeing your old site, you did have all the information. In my opinion, you had it there, but the only thing that was lacking is segmenting all that information. And like you mentioned, now that your visitors are going in there, they can focus on what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. And so I think the objective was that.
Yeah.
Making sure that the visitor, as soon as they're there, because in reality, you're only providing 2 main services, right? Like the facial and then the body, and then from there breaks down.
Yeah.
So
just a few other little small things.
Right.
The most part, yes, yeah, skincare and body sculpting.
Exactly. So once they land on the site, they basically see those 2 main categories, and so they get to choose. Okay. Now, in your previous website, did you have a system where you were able to have the visitor book? And if so, how easy was it?
So I feel like when I did my own website, but I feel like most people use Wix. So Wix is a little trickier to use, but I feel like that's what most owners start with, at least. I know I did not have that option. So having that option now has definitely made that easier in that sense too, because now I get a notification saying, hey, someone's booked. If I need to kind of just move them around, it's an easy fix. It's way easier than being like, oh, someone booked, I have to call them. We're waiting for them to come. So
now,
productive too.
All right, cool. Now, what system were you using to book your clients?
Fresha. Using Fresha.
How was Fresha? Well, okay, when a client would visit your website, would they book directly from the site, or they had to call you or call you, and then you would do it manually?
And then I would do it manually.
Oh, okay. Now the system, do they charge a fee for the?
Fresha would charge us. It wasn't a big fee, but yes, they would charge a fee.
So you were paying Fresha your monthly, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were paying a fee. And then you were paying the transactions. But you had about three transactions. Right?
Yeah. So Wix also you have to use either PayPal or Stripe, and then they would take a percentage too.
Wow. So you were pretty much just dishing out your,
Yeah, that deposit fee was minimal.
Okay. So I think this is the reason why we came together, is because to make things a lot easier, right? So one of the things that I do want to talk about is, aside from having a cool looking website, we're actually proud of it as well, is how was it that we connected the site with our CRM, or rather our block system? Since we implemented the block system, what's the experience versus the previous experience?
It's a lot more organized. So I love that we have like our pipelines, and I'm able to track movement in there. So I can see where someone's interested, where, for example, I know we have like our forms too, like if you're interested for questions. So there's a place where that goes there. There's a place where someone is booked. And then that also gives us flexibility with campaigns, which we've also been doing.
Right.
So we're able to store more data information and then use that to advertise later on.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it just keeps everything in one place. I don't have to go through 100 million apps and then, because you forget too, like it's happened so many times where I have a client like, oh, I need a book. I'm like, okay, so we're talking back, but then I'll forget to put them into the system. And it's just too chaotic, There's too many things all at one place. So everything being in one place helps me be much more organized and not seeing that anymore. I hardly have people be like, oh, like I was supposed to come in and like, am I still good for tomorrow? Like, oh, are you still good for tomorrow? Like they're good for tomorrow because it's in one place and I can just see everything laid out really nicely and organized. So
cool. Yeah, because one of the things that we have experienced with other clients is having the book appointment. I know that we started adding a form in your website to make it easier for you, right? Because you say you had a busy calendar, and so you wanted to manually look for the slot for your client. So that's what we did. But I think the best practice is to have a calendar for your visitors to just, as soon as they land, we want the user to have the call to action right away in front of them, because obviously they're ready to do business. If we offer them that opportunity right away, they'll click and they'll be redirected to this calendar. And at that point, we already skipped a lot of steps that probably before you had.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And the forms too. So we created our custom forms, which you helped me do.
Yeah, thank you.
And having to print and have the clients come in early. So we're a small business. So like I don't have like a secretary. So having that option has made my life way easier because like I already have the form. I have it on my tablet to like pull up. Okay, I know you're not allergic to, especially the facial stuff. So you don't have to sit here and spend 10 minutes filling out a form. By the time they come in, their deposit's already done and the forms are already filled in. So it's already taken care of by the time they already walk into the door. So that's helped a lot too, like in-house.
That's kind of cool because it kind of tells me that your visitors are actually getting the right information and they don't have to go from one page to the next. I mean, right now, I think when they book, they're redirected to the the consent form, right? Whichever service they're looking for.
Skin or body.
Yeah, and then from there, they are redirected to the payment gateway, which is something that we want because we want to make sure that the customer has an experience from beginning to end. And then obviously...
It's an easy flow. It flows very nicely.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you that you are noticing that.
No, definitely that's helped a lot.
All right. Well, there you go. One of the things that we like to do at Block Marketing is, again, first we try to figure out what is the first of all, the experience that the customer is currently having, and then from there we put a series of ideas together and start seeing, okay, what can we eliminate that can help them improve their overall strategies, and also for the client, because the client is the most important one. We want the client to have a good sense and trust on the client that they're going to do business with. So I think with skincare, we accomplished our objective, which was making sure that they got the book appointments rather than creating friction, because that's the last thing any business wants to create, that friction. Because when you see a big form or when you see different steps, then the last thing, or actually the visitor, what they're going to end up doing is, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? So there you go. And I think with skincare, we accomplished that objective.
We are here today with Alexis from Skincare and Body Sculpting. How are you doing, Alexis?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Happy to be here with you guys.
So how was your weekend? How was the 4th of July?
4th, it was fun. I maybe drank a little too much. Do as I say, not as we do, clients, okay? But no, it was fun. It was a great weekend.
We had a good time. That's what matters. Okay. So listen, today what we want to do, I know you already had a conversation with Debbie, and now we want to go over and analyze the SEO. What we did with you was a little bit different than we have done in the past. We actually brought you on board, and you were part of the process. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What was it that it was hard for you, and what is it that you can explain now within a minute to someone that doesn't even understand what SEO?
So, I mean, I think that just starting off, it was just like when you were talking to me, I didn't know what you were talking about. So let's just start with that. I was clueless as to what SEO was. I was clueless as to, what getting leads were.
Definitely.
So all that, you guys have taught me quite a bit with that. And I'm very thankful, obviously. And I've definitely seen a lot of more, how I interact with clients, and also how I interact with my girls that also have businesses too. Like, I'm getting excited. I feel myself getting excited about it now.
Now you can have that conversation.
I can have that conversation. Like, hey, how's your website looking? Like, do you guys have keywords in there? Like, are you on Google My Business? Like, I know so many girls that just have no idea what any of that stuff is.
Let me ask you, how do you think that's different now? I mean, now that you have this knowledge, I know that it's hard for a lot of people to understand, but how can you apply this, or anyone that doesn't even have a business, how can they use SEO to be able to, generate leads? Because at the end of the day, that was the purpose. I mean, I'm guessing when we first started with you, one of the things that you wanted to get done was the branding. And if people are finding you, not only that, you get the branding, but you also get organic leads. How are you seeing those leads?
I mean, they're definitely there. So I feel like we both sat down and worked specifically on the website, on our blogs for the SEO. And people are definitely interested. People are definitely coming in. They're asking more questions like, oh, like, I found you on Google. I found you at this. So it's definitely working. It's tricky to learn. And I feel like as a business owner that had no knowledge about this whatsoever, it's great to have a marketing team that actually can guide you through this, because I feel like the vast majority, especially in the beauty world, like, we're just, put up a pretty picture and hopefully we get clients. That's pretty much what we were doing for years.
Okay. And now that you see that things have changed, if you were starting your business from scratch, what would be the first thing that you would recommend someone to implement right away?
Get a marketing team. Get a marketing team to help you. Just because it's better to start on your right foot versus starting and then not knowing what to do. You can be great at what you do. I know so many girls that are amazing. They're very talented, but the business end of it takes up so much of your time. And I had no idea how much it constantly evolves. Social media is constantly evolving and changing, and it's becoming very saturated. So having a marketing team to show you the analytics, to show you, this is what's working, this is what's not working, is like a game changer. I feel like every single person that starts any business should start with some kind of marketing team.
Well, I'm excited to hear that. So now, can you tell us a little bit about what's next? I mean, because I know that you're not in the same position that you were a few months ago. Now you are expanding, you're scaling the business. Mm-hmm. And I guess we already have 4 months working with you. And so far, we already built the website. The website is connected with the platform. So that's something that should be able to help you out and streamline your operations. So if you're ready to scale your company, I mean, do you want to share some of those numbers with our public? I mean, so that way it could be a little bit.
So
what do you see yourself?
I first started with Eddie, and I said that my first month I wanted to make 10,000 after expenses, and we hit it. We went over it actually a little bit.
We did.
We're definitely in the 13,000s after expenses now, which is great.
Just be careful with the IRS.
yes, but so I mean, we're hitting all our marks, which is amazing. And again, we are still very much in an economy that's, we're going through, everything's expensive, right? Everything's super expensive right now. But people still want to spend. People want to invest in themselves. And I feel like being guided through that properly has been definitely a big game changer. So definitely want to enter e-commerce. We've talked about that. We're going to start bringing in fajas.
Hey, can you tell us a little bit about that? And then for a lot of people that don't really know, how can you mix e-commerce with what she's currently doing? Well, the way we see it is just we want to create we want to diversify ourselves. We want to be able to have a secondary income source for the company. And she was telling me, and can you tell me a little bit how that came about, the idea of e-commerce? Do you remember?
So I think we were just kind of talking one day. We were just, we're one of our business meetings. That was a Friday, I remember that. And then you were actually the one suggested it. You're like, you know what? You have constantly your girls that you were asking me about, like, what do you need to see results? I'm like, well, fajas make a world of a difference, because obviously if you compress yourself after getting sculpted, you see a big change, and you're just like, let's bring on some fajas. And I was like, that's actually a great idea. Let's definitely do that. So we're working on creating beginners and then advanced fajas, because I definitely have two different clients. And there's clients that never worn a faja, never worn a waist trainer. it's exhausting.
And what do you see yourself that taking it in place? I mean, when do you think you're gonna go live with this?
So I think by next month we should be good with that. I have my stage 1s already. So stage 1 beginners, we found something that we love.
Can you tell us the process? I mean, what's going to be the process for a lot of people? I know that you have a lot of people that follow you on Instagram. How is it that you're going to be able to send them, or are they going to have to come in? What's the process? Do you already have that in place, or you're still working those bugs?
I feel like we're still working those bugs. He's my go-to for that. So I would heavily have the product. I think that's the most important part. We have the product. I found something that we loved, and now we're kind of just working on how to incorporate that into the website and how we want to promote it. So our SEO for that too, researching that as well. So that's always fun. So that's the next process is for sure. I think that's that, and then of course the sculpt classes. We're getting back into that too.
Oh wow, that's another subject. So that's something else that we are going to be doing, and the way we're going to do it is through the platform. So they have a new plug. Now we're going to be able to not only sell the services, but we also can offer memberships. And that's something that we want to implement. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because this is something that is going to change the way we're doing, the process. Because now not only you have the service line, which is the skincare and body sculpting, you have a new line, which is the e-commerce, and the last one, which is the classes. And this one's very important because can you tell me a little bit about why do you want to get back? What's in your mind? Because if you're teaching a lot of people, but basically you're creating competition, but you don't see it that way. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I just, as a woman business owner, I feel like it's amazing just to have something that's your own that nobody that can take away from you. I see a lot of people that give 2-3 day classes, and unfortunately you just can't learn proper technique in that. So if I want to do this, I want to do this right. And I love teaching. I love being able to do that. And, I sometimes even hire my girls, train them in, and then they go and do their own things. And the girls that are doing their own thing that were my students are doing amazing. They're doing good for themselves. So that makes me really happy. It's something I enjoy doing, apart from, the money side of it, of course.
And can we share with them what that's going to look like? I mean, the process of the class, is it going to be online? They're going to have to come in on site?
So we're gonna have 2 options.
Okay.
We're gonna use your Logic for that as well. So I'm excited for that. And Logic is the platform that we use for our data and stuff, because no one's gonna know what that means. So I want to have online schooling as well. I'm gonna be teaming up with Glow Academy. She's down the street. Her name's
Wait.
Roxy.
What was that?
So her name is Roxy.
Can you tell a little bit about that? That's a surprise.
So we did this with her last time as well. Her name is Roxy. She's down the street. She has a makeup academy. It's called Glow. She's the only one affiliated with MAC, which is kind of amazing.
Definitely.
And I love her norms inside of her space. She's really cool with her girls. They're kind of like a tight-knit community family, which is always really nice to have.
That's going to be something amazing you're going to put together.
Yeah, we're excited for that. So we want to do online, and we want to do in-house, of course. So we want to be able to offer both options.
And what do you think that's going to, is it going to be before after the summer, or is it going to be next year?
No, it's not going to be this year. It's this year. It's going to be within the next month or 2 months. We're just trying to program everything right. We want to get the kids perfected and make sure everything's, we're on the same page with that.
Okay. Well, thank you. I mean, now you guys heard that. I mean, she's not only scaling her company, but she's also giving back to the community, and that's really good. So that's one of the things that we like when we work with someone. We want to be able to help them out see the success all the way from the start and all the way to the end.